Hi Gemini, welcome to your energy check-in. As you guys know, these readings are timeless and absolutely signless, so you don't actually have to have any Gemini placements in your natal chart at all, and you can access this video at any time that you'd like, forever, ever, ever. Also, might I direct your attention to YouTube, where I actually did already post an extended Gemini reading. So this reading geared towards Instagram, but also added to YouTube, will be very short, this one. However, on YouTube they're already, wow, you guys are jumping. There's already an extended one for about an hour, I believe. Okay, so if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, gems, feel free to reach out to my Etsy page. What was that card? Which one was it? Oh, I think so. Oh, okay, makes sense. So Gemini, it looks like you are going through a process right now. We're definitely in Gemini season, right? You're going through a process right now that seems to be, look, there's the ascension. It seems to be a hook, line, and sinker. It seems to be the next step in your evolution, and makes sense because here you have yourself elevating yourself only to head right into a paradigm shift, right? But yet we have this blockage. I don't know what this card is underneath, but it doesn't matter because right now it's holding the energy to be representing a blockage in your life. Now this blockage is not necessarily something that, let's put it this way, this blockage or whatever it is could have reared itself in your life either after you made this paradigm shift or this transition or this cycle ending, or right before you were about to do it. Okay, but either, or maybe, yeah, okay, it's possible right before you were about to do it. But either way, I would like to tell you that this is a process that you may have already been undergoing. I think that this blockage, whoever it is, it's coming in the form of a person. So let's talk a little bit about this. Number one, Spirit is saying that sometimes, yes, sometimes things happen that we don't understand, but the end result and the end goal is ascension. Now, they're not coming through specifically to say in all cases the ends justify the means, but they're kind of bringing that into this reading, if this reading is for you. Now, I do feel some guilt and a little bit of shame, but a lot of hiding energy, like awareness, like, okay, I was trying to hide cough, cough, coming up right now. So some of you are already aware of what the situation is. If you're on this call and it's resonating, you know who, see, I can barely talk right now. You know who this person is as well. Who dat? But here's my question. What stopped you? Because, okay, I really need to feel into this, because I want to say that there's the option that you got through the paradigm shift, or that you shifted and then this person came up and blocked you. It could be that you were mid-shift and they came up and blocked you, or it could be right before you made that shift and they came up and blocked you. So I'm seeing that if this reading is for you, there's been a blockage here. But look, you got to continue on so that you can have this full leveling up, because notice we have two shifting cards here, but it's like I'm getting there, and then now you might be, this laugh I'm doing, yeah, it's kind of your energy that's coming through, because remember guys, I'm channeling, God bless, and it's coming through as a little bit of this kind of energy. Well, what had happened was, yeah, a little guilty laugh. Who is this person? This person seems that to be the harbinger of some type of temptation, some type of, it could be that they're coming with some type of contract that would, like, hey, you want to live in this apartment, I can get you in. Or it could be that it's body related, like maybe you were really into them or whatever it is, but it's coming across as a little bit of a test. And look at how we have this open door here, and then we have key of light. So if there were a trap door right before you reach the real door, this would be it. All right, so have you succumbed, or are you in the process of succumbing to a trap door booby prize? Like, don't stop before you get to your destination is what I'm getting. Now let's take a look. Yeah, okay. Now that's very interesting, because we just pulled two cards here, alignment and family of light. Okay, so this is, and it goes very well with this card, the harmony card, soulmate card. So in a sense, I'm getting that if you did fall for the booby prize, so to speak, then chances are, I'm like, I don't blame you in a sense, because two messages are coming through. Number one, it could be because this person is coming to you with familiar, old, conditioned energy. So all that old energy that you were conditioned upon when you were growing up, self-sabotage, indecent behavior, dishonesty, whatever all that is, this person came up at the last minute to measure your awareness of yourself and your commitment to your process and your light and everything. And I feel that if you fell for it, it's an indication that you need to do more work on clearing all of this out, right? And so that's one of the things that I'm getting. The second thing that I'm getting is that I wouldn't be surprised, because maybe this person carries with them a little bit of a soulmate energy, right? So maybe you even know this person from another lifetime. We know everybody, but anyway, from another lifetime. And so it's kind of like, oh, Gerald, whether you know this person or not, you saw the twinkle in the eye. There was soul recognition. However, you did not recognize that this person may actually be one of those soulmates. A soulmate is just somebody you've gone through many lifetimes with, learned many lessons. You're very familiar with each other's energy. When you meet each other again in life, it's kind of like, oh, hey, where have you been my whole life? Oh my God, we can talk for hours. And then the domestic abuse starts. It's one of those things. Not to go morbid on you, but you have to remember, guys, that soulmates come in different flavors. And so just because there's an instant compatibility, right? The word simpatico just jumped into my mind. Just because there's look, that guilty laugh wants to come up again. Hold on. Just because there's a soul recognition or something like that doesn't mean this is your person, doesn't mean this is the place to stop, doesn't mean this is the place to rest your hat, doesn't mean that you need to buy whatever they're saying. Hey, you want to get into Bitcoin? Hey, I work for this real estate company. They're selling, and I can get you a good rate. Whatever is going on, you really want to read the fine print. Now, you may wonder, well, this came out of nowhere, and this seems like too good of a thing to pass up, whether it's a person, a place, a thing, or situation, an ideology. It seems too good to pass up. However, those are the ones you really need to look at, because hello, it is totally eclipse season right now. Hello, Mercury retrograde right now. Hello, Gemini season. And no shade to gems. We all love you. We all love you, especially women. We love our Gemini men, right? God bless. But remember that the Gemini energy is mutable. You think you're seeing one thing, you're seeing another altogether. And so you have to be very mindful with this kind of energy when it's in the air, especially when you're trying to get to somewhere, excuse me, and there's a test afoot. There's always a test. All right, so look. This is carrying judgment energy, this card. This is the first time I'm seeing it carry this. This is carrying judgment energy. This is not an energy you can cheat on. In other words, you cannot cheat in a test like this, because it's merit based. It's just, what is your characteristic? What are your traits? What have you learned? Have you learned anything? All right. Wow. Look at my throat. And it's coming from the heart space. Oh my God. Stop. Look at what it says, the heart transmission. Because that's what I was about to say. It's coming from the heart space. I'm coughing right now through the throat, but it's coming from the heart space. So some of you may have been hit by Cupid's bow. But you know what it is? This card is actually showing me that it's almost like you wanted that one last hit. You're trying to get to here, but that ultimate temptation pops up, and it's almost like, can I just feel it one last time? Can I? And then I'll get out of here, but look, it can pull you right back in. Excuse me. Now, let's take a look at this card. It says simply love, but I wasn't doing anything. I know. I didn't think it would activate any of the past, and I know. But the thing is, you also have to remember that what you put out there, you do get back, number one. And number two, you have to remember that every cause has an effect. That's number two. And so you see, with this cute little boy showing this cute little Gemini energy. So he's like, I just wanted, I couldn't help it. I just couldn't help it for whatever reason. Why? Because it was a test. It's understandable. You either have learned the lesson or you haven't. That's why you can't cheat on something like this. It's impossible. And so even if you may have thought, oh, okay, I'm just, going out for coffee, for example, it's not a big deal. I'm just going out for coffee with this person. Whatever. No, I'm not going to get stuck on another 6 years on some guy that doesn't love me. But it could take 3 months to get out of that, right? Or let's say you do go out for that coffee, and then, while you're having that coffee date with that person, it's going well. You're telling yourself, I'm not going to get wrapped up. This is just for fun. I'm meeting new friends. You know how the mind goes. We can have friends. I can have friends. It means nothing. And then this person's baby mama or lawyer or somebody, process server comes up and says, hey, are you Joshua? I don't know why they give me that name. That could be for somebody. Hey, are you Joshua? And they're like, yeah. You just been served by who? Your baby mama or your wife, or so all sorts of stuff. Or long story short, whatever it is that you do, even if it's just like, I'm gonna control it, it's not a big deal, or I'm not getting into anything, you're still creating an effect for yourself. Okay, so that's what Spirit is showing. So now it's about needing to unravel and move through whatever it is that you may have inadvertently stepped into when you activated this oh, you know what my guides just said? This test. Now, I was just about to say, now what happens for those people who overstep this test? And they were like, no thanks. Spirit just said one word: pass. That's it. You passed. So some of you may already, so now we have two groups. We'll always have like three groups, right? One group is like, okay, I'm a Gemini, for example, but this isn't my story, but hopefully I'm going to get some popcorn and watch. And thank you, stay a while. Then there are some in this story, the second group, where it's like, oh my God, I know exactly what Janelle's talking about. I know, I did fall for it, but it was one coffee date. Or, I just bought one Bitcoin, or just whatever your temptation was. And then there's the third group who's like, okay, I know exactly what Janelle's talking about because I saw that text come in from Pedro, and, he's like, hey, I'm in town, I said, nope. That's a pass. Okay, that third one is a pass, is what Spirit is saying. Whatever this card is, look, discontent and boredom. A lot of you who chose to go this route with whoever this is, or whatever this trap door represents, understandably, because sometimes we're fighting years and years of conditioning, childhood, stuff. But if you decided to go here, I do feel that for some of you, you're carrying this idea that, oh my God, if I get my life together, if I choose the healing work, if I say no to the parties, if I say no to the whatever, because that scene just isn't me anymore, then I'll be bored. I don't want to be eating kale chips for the rest of my life, right? That's kind of the energy some of you might be having when you do that. But see this card, discontent and boredom, coming into reverse. You have to realize that you won't be bored. There's always going to be something or someone new that pops up. You're not going to be bored. It's just that you are talking yourself into this idea that you're going to be bored if you choose the life that best supports you, because you're so still thinking about the feelings, the temptations and the feelings and the short-term joy that you used to derive from this old life that saw nothing but troubles for you. What is this card? God bless. Crown chakra. This is about listening to a higher order of conditioning, Spirit is saying. So again, this is what I'm saying. It's hard, and I completely understand, you guys, if you fell for this this test, because we're healing our life, and it's filled with conditions, things that we learned as children, things that didn't serve us well at all. Suffering and silence, fertility and patience. Look at this. So there's suffering and silence, fertility and patience. In a sense, it almost feels like it should be like this: suffering and silence, patience and fertility. Oh, I see why they're saying that. They're so funny. Okay. Well, they're not joking. I'm just laughing. But suffering and silence, you're trying to put the cart before the horse, right? So suffering and silence, that's everybody on this call. But what they're saying is some of you are trying to look for the fertility before you even have the cute little pea and put the patience into it. So they're saying the issue is that, and this is the second issue, the first issue why some of you fell for this is that, this is the third issue. The first issue is because it was so familiar. There's a familiarity, either from this lifetime or a past lifetime. The second one is because you think the new life will be boring, not as fun as the nights out and this and that. And the third one they're saying is because you're putting the cart before the horse. You have to know that patience is a virtue because it takes time. And as with all these virtues, there's so many wonderful things to have if we could hang in there long enough. So you've got this small thing that you've got to be patient for while it grows, and then the fertility. And so you see, the third thing, the putting the cart before the horse, I understand because sometimes we don't have the vision for what it is that we're trying to effect in our lives. We just want the man in the bed, we want the house, we want the career, we want the whatever, the kids, and but we forget that there are many, many steps that go along the way to create those things. And they're important, if not more important, because we think that we can skip from A to B, but instead we have to understand that we're trying to reach C. And C only comes as a result of A plus B. So in other words, you can't cut out the work. You have the thought, you do the work, you get the result. And you can't just find a wife and find a husband without going through the healing, without dating, without having thoughts about doing other things, and it all leads up to where you're trying to go. And for a lot of you, I do feel that you did put in a lot of this work, but again, there was that moment in time where the old stuff showed up again. The trigger happened again. Something happened, and you may have made that misstep. So let me just go ahead and, I don't know if I want to use these cards, but look at this, the World card. The World card also speaks of an ending, right? But I don't know if I want to use this card. Number one, the cycles never end. You're just entering into another cycle. But at the same time, yeah, it's almost like, yeah. They want to talk a little bit about a false sense of security as well. For some of you, two things are coming up. For some of you, you believe that, oh, well, I've done this, or I've achieved this, so now I'm good to go. The work always continues. So please don't get into this false sense of security. And on that note, for some of you, I do feel that maybe you may not even realize you've slipped back into something. Maybe you're dating someone now and you think that person represents, this is an example, dating, but it's not always about dating, right? But let's say you're dating someone now and you think that person represents the new energy that you were heading towards, but it does not. This person represents the old energy, and you think you've made it. You're like, I've got my man now, I've got my person. And you're in this false sense of security that you have made it here, but you haven't. You've fallen for this thing again. And so we always have to watch for that. And the other energy I'm getting with this card, before this card comes out, the other energy that I'm getting from this World card is that some of you couldn't wait. There's the patience. You couldn't wait to get to the end of the cycle. You gave up. And it's like, I can't wait another, 6 years? This is the way, trust me, I get that feeling too, but it's like, I can't wait another 6 years for a guy who will never come, and this and that, and I just want to get married, I don't want to be alone, and so you settle for whoever. And see, this cute little person is representing you. You're like, I'll take anybody, God. Who is it? What is it? Look at this, 9 of Cups. Wish fulfillment. Spirit is saying we're always getting what we wish. And that's the thing about the human condition. We're far powerful beyond what we're capable of understanding. We're always getting what we want. And I know that's a controversial statement, because a lot of people are like, what about those people who are just being abused and this and that? But you have to understand that there are many, many, many levels of desire. We have desires just from a pure psychological standpoint. Desires are born of conditioning. Desires are born out of abuse as well. If you're conditioned to associate sex with love, for example, guess what? You're going to keep thinking some guy who wants to have sex with you loves you. He don't. That's a quick example, Don't forget that choices are made beyond the conscious level. Many people will say, I want to do this, I want to do that. As simple as I want to work out more. You don't actually want to work out more. You're just saying that because you think you do. What you want to do is not work out, and that's why you can't bring yourself to do it. Because when you want something, it happens. Now, it's controversial when you start seeing people really go through some really tough stuff, and you have to understand that there's a level of work that needs to go into changing our lives sometimes. And so a lot of times we at our very, very simple mind will say, oh, well, that person, so you're saying that person wants to stay in that abusive relationship? No, what this person may want to do, because everybody's different, so you cannot just put everyone in one thing, but maybe what this person wants to do is to feel a sense of safety, and in their mind they're safer here in this familiar environment than they are out there. And so you have to understand that we from the outside cannot judge and make a blanket statement and say that, oh, people don't want this, people don't want that. You have to understand what is it that they are calling in. Sometimes they don't even realize they're calling it in, but if you look into the energy field, you see an aspect that they're carrying from a past lifetime, or a very wounded inner child that is holding them back from their greatness. So you have to understand, guys, that that's why it's very, very, very important to do our inner work, and the work is always continuing. Otherwise, it's very easy to mix up the signals that we are getting in the outside world. I say look for signs, but be very careful when you're looking for signs, because you will always get to see what it is that you want to see. If you're not seeing what you think you want to see, you have to ask, well, wow, what is inside of me in this energy field, in all of these aspects I'm carrying, in the social conditioning that I've had, in the family conditioning that I've had, that is calling in these things. And that's something you have to go deeper to find out. Oh, let me check the time. Look at that. Thank you. It's the moon card. The moon card is talking about the fears that we hold inside. It's the illusions, it's the addictions, it's the patterns. And so you see why it's coming out here alongside the wish fulfillment. You carry these energies inside. The wish is put out there to the universe, and it is returned to you. So the best thing that we can do in order to ensure, my little gems and whoever else is watching this video, the best thing that we can do in order to ensure that we're having the best life that is for us is to have a commitment to breaking through, to having a breakthrough in your life and moving into a healthy space, and to keep working at understanding how you're either giving to that goal or you're detracting from it. And you must remember that causes always have effects. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that length so that you can put this onto Instagram, because it always caps it at like 24, 25 max. If you'd like to see an extended Gemini reading, go ahead and check YouTube. You can even follow the link in my bio on Instagram, because I put it there for you. But please know that even if you resonate with this Gemini reading, it doesn't mean that you will resonate with the other one, or you may, okay? Until then, have a beautiful and blessed time, and you can reach out if you'd like to have a personal reading with me or energy healing session, okay? Mwah. Bye, guys.